If you've ever held a Lincoln Wheat Penny, this video could completely change the way you look at pocket change forever. Some wheat pennies that look ordinary are actually worth thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in rare cases, even life-changing money today, and most people spend them without realizing it. In this video, I'm revealing the most valuable wheat pennies, the hidden details collectors look for, and why these old US pennies are exploding in value right now. Make sure you watch this video until the end, because the final coins surprise even experienced collectors. If you enjoy learning about rare and valuable American coins, don't forget to subscribe to Coins Most Valuable like this video and turn on notifications so you never miss a hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. Coin number 1. What if the most valuable coin you could ever find isn't locked inside a vault, buried underground, or owned by a museum, but quietly sitting in an old jar of pennies completely overlooked? Right now, across America, millions of people pass over wheat pennies every single day, never realizing that one specific year without a mint mark has sold for life-changing money. The 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark is one of those coins, and its story proves that sometimes the smallest details make the biggest difference. The 1943 steel penny with the D mint mark is one of the most talked about and misunderstood coins in American history, and its story begins during one of the most intense moments the United States has ever faced. In the middle of World War II, copper was urgently needed for ammunition, wiring, and military equipment. Because of this national emergency, the U.S. Mint made a historic decision that forever changed the 1-cent coin. For the first and only time in regular circulation, the Lincoln cent was struck not in copper, but in steel coated with zinc. This single-year change created a coin that instantly stands apart in U.S. numismatics and continues to fascinate collectors across America. The Denver Mint played a crucial role in producing these wartime pennies. The small D mint mark below the date identifies coins struck in Denver, and this mark alone adds an important layer of collectability. Millions of steel cents were produced in 1943, but not all of them were equal. Differences in strike quality, surface preservation, and mint characteristics make the 1943 steel penny with D mint mark especially interesting to collectors who study fine details. Many Americans unknowingly handle these coins without realizing the history they represent or the potential value hidden in the right example. One of the reasons the 1943 D steel penny stands out is its completely different appearance compared to other Lincoln cents. Its silver-gray color often causes confusion, with people mistaking it for a dime at first glance. This unusual color is the result of zinc plating over steel, a combination that was never used again for regular U.S. cents. Because steel reacts differently to the environment than copper, these coins have aged in unique ways, creating a wide range of conditions that dramatically affect value today. Condition is everything when it comes to the 1943 steel penny with D mint mark. While worn examples are still collectible, the real excitement comes from coins that have survived in exceptionally well-preserved condition. Many steel cents were damaged shortly after entering circulation. The zinc coating could wear off, exposing the steel core underneath, which then rusted easily. Coins that avoided corrosion, spotting, or discoloration are far scarcer than most people realize. This scarcity is what drives serious collector demand. Another factor that adds to the value of the 1943 D steel penny is strike quality. Wartime production pressures meant dies were often used longer than ideal, leading to weak strikes or surface issues on many coins. A sharply struck example, with full detail on Lincoln's portrait and clear lettering, is significantly more desirable. Collectors closely examine the fields, rims, and lettering, knowing that even small differences can mean a large difference in market value. The historical importance of the 1943 steel penny cannot be overstated. This coin represents a nation fully committed to the war effort, willing to change even its everyday currency to support victory. Every steel cent is a reminder of American sacrifice and industrial adaptation. For many collectors, owning a 1943 D steel penny is like holding a tangible piece of World War II history in the palm of their hand. Over the decades, myths and misunderstandings have surrounded steel pennies. Some people believe all 1943 steel cents are extremely valuable, while others think they are common and worthless. The truth lies in the details. While many circulated examples are affordable, the most valuable coins are those that combine the right mint mark, exceptional preservation, and strong eye appeal. This is where the 1943 steel penny with D mint mark truly separates itself from the rest. Collectors also pay close attention to surface quality. Original zinc plating with minimal spotting is highly prized. Many steel cents were cleaned improperly over the years, which can permanently damage the surface and reduce value. Coins that retain their original look, without harsh cleaning marks, are far more desirable. Even subtle hairlines can make a noticeable difference when experts evaluate these coins. The Denver Mint's production characteristics add another layer of intrigue. Some 1943D steel pennies show minor variations in die alignment, lettering strength, or overall strike pressure. While not all variations dramatically affect value, advanced collectors enjoy identifying and comparing these differences. This ongoing study keeps interest in the coin strong, even decades after it was minted. For Americans who grew up hearing stories about rare pennies, the 1943 steel cent often sits at the center of those conversations. Many people remember checking coins with magnets or searching through old jars, hoping to find something special. While copper 1943 pennies are famously rare, the steel versions with the D mint mark still hold strong value potential when found in top condition. This keeps the hunt alive for both new and seasoned collectors. Market demand for high-quality examples has steadily increased. As more collectors enter the hobby and learn what truly matters, premium specimens become harder to find. Steel cents that were once overlooked are now being carefully examined and preserved. This shift has pushed top-tier examples into a different value category altogether, especially those that show minimal wear and exceptional eye appeal. Another important aspect is originality. Coins that have never been altered, replated, or cleaned tend to stand out immediately to knowledgeable buyers. Original surfaces tell a story of careful preservation over decades. For the 1943D steel penny, originality can mean the difference between an ordinary collectible and a highly valuable one. The emotional appeal of this coin also plays a role in its desirability. It connects collectors to a defining era in American history, one marked by unity, resilience, and innovation. This emotional connection often drives collectors to pay premiums for the best examples available, especially when competition is strong at auctions. As years pass, fewer pristine examples remain. Steel is not a forgiving metal, and time has not been kind to many of these coins. Rust, environmental damage, and improper storage have taken their toll. This natural attrition increases the rarity of top-condition 1943 steel pennies with the D mint mark, making them even more appealing to serious collectors. What truly surprises many people is how high values can climb when all the right factors come together. A sharply struck coin with bright original surfaces and minimal imperfections can achieve results that most would never expect from a 1-cent piece. This is where the 1943D steel penny transitions from an interesting historical artifact into a headline-making collectible. The highest levels of the market focus on elite examples that stand out even among other uncirculated coins. These are the coins that generate excitement, bidding wars, and record prices. When such a coin appears, it draws attention from collectors across the country who understand just how rare true quality is for this issue. The most astonishing proof of the value potential of this coin comes from the auction record itself. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1943 steel penny with the D mint mark is $660,000, a result that shocked the collecting world and permanently changed how this coin is viewed. This single sale demonstrated that under the right conditions, a humble wartime penny can reach life-changing value. That record-setting price serves as a powerful reminder of why the 1943D steel penny continues to be studied, searched for, and talked about today. It proves that rarity, condition, history, and demand can combine to transform a simple 1-cent coin into one of the most valuable pieces of American coinage history. Coin number 2. What if the most valuable coin you could ever find isn't locked inside a vault, buried underground, or owned by a museum, but quietly sitting in an old jar of pennies, completely overlooked? Right now, across America, millions of people pass over wheat pennies every single day, never realizing that one specific year without a mint mark has sold for life-changing money. The 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark is one of those coins, and its story proves that sometimes the smallest details make the biggest difference. The 1955 wheat penny was produced during a time of major change in the United States. The country was moving forward after World War II, industry was booming, and everyday Americans were using cash more than ever before. The Lincoln Wheat cent was still a familiar sight in pockets, purses, and cash registers, and few people gave these coins a second glance. Yet, among the millions struck that year, a small number would go on to become highly valuable collectibles. When a wheat penny has no mint mark, it means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia produced massive quantities of cents in 1955, which is why many people assume all 1955 wheat pennies are common. That assumption has caused countless valuable coins to be ignored, spent, or lost over time. What collectors understand today is that rarity is not always about low mintage alone, but about survival, condition, and demand. The design of the wheat penny itself plays a major role in its appeal. Featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and two wheat stalks on the reverse, this design ran from 1909 to 1958 and is deeply tied to American history. By 1955, the design was nearing the end of its run, making later-date wheat pennies especially interesting to collectors who focus on the final years of the series. Condition is the most critical factor when it comes to the value of the 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark. While many examples were heavily circulated, only a small fraction survived in exceptional condition. Coins that avoided wear scratches and environmental damage are far scarcer than most people realize. A penny that looks ordinary at first glance can be dramatically more valuable if its surfaces remain clean and original. Strike quality also matters. During periods of high production, minting speed sometimes took priority over precision. Many 1955 pennies show weak details, especially in Lincoln's hair and the lettering. Coins with sharp details, strong rims, and clear design elements stand out immediately to experienced collectors. These are the examples that command serious attention. Surface preservation is another key factor. Original red or red-brown color, minimal spotting, and natural luster greatly increase desirability. Over the decades, many wheat pennies were cleaned in an attempt to make them shine, but this often caused irreversible damage. Collectors strongly prefer coins with untouched, original surfaces, even if they show slight natural toning. The 1955 wheat penny has long been surrounded by collector interest, especially because that year is famous for notable varieties. While not every 1955 penny is rare, the strongest examples without a mint mark in top condition exist in a completely different category. These coins represent the best of what survived from an era when pennies were treated as disposable. As American coin collecting grew in popularity, collectors began to re-examine later-date wheat pennies. What they discovered was that finding a truly exceptional 1955 wheat penny was far more difficult than expected. Most had been circulated heavily, stored improperly, or damaged over time. This realization caused demand for top-tier examples to steadily rise. Another reason this coin is valuable is emotional connection. Wheat pennies are often the first collectible coin Americans remember searching for as children. That nostalgia drives demand, especially for coins tied to famous years or historical transitions. The 1955 wheat penny sits at the crossroads of common memory and elite rarity when found in extraordinary condition. Market demand has only increased as fewer high-quality examples remain available. Every year, collectors remove the best coins from the market and place them into long-term collections. This reduces supply and increases competition whenever a premium example appears for sale. What surprises most people is how extreme the price difference can be between an average coin and a truly elite one. Two pennies from the same year can look similar to the untrained eye, yet be separated by tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in value. This gap is exactly what makes the 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark so fascinating. At major auctions, collectors closely analyze every detail. They look for originality, sharp strike, eye appeal, and preservation. When a 1955 wheat penny checks every box, it becomes something far greater than pocket change. It becomes a trophy coin. The strongest proof of this coin's value comes directly from real auction results. A top-quality 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark has reached an astonishing $180,000, a price that completely changes how most people view a 1-cent coin. That result shows what is possible when rarity, condition, and demand align perfectly. That six-figure price is not about hype or speculation. It reflects how seriously collectors value exceptional examples of classic American coins. The 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark stands as powerful evidence that even the smallest coin can carry enormous value when preserved at the highest level. This is why wheat pennies continue to be searched, studied, and talked about across the United States. The 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark is not just a reminder of America's past, but a reminder that hidden value often exists where people least expect it, sometimes in something as simple as a single penny. Coin number 3. What if the most valuable coin you could ever discover isn't locked inside a bank vault or displayed behind museum glass, but hiding in plain sight as an ordinary penny that millions of Americans have already touched without noticing? Across the United States, wheat pennies have been passed down through generations, tossed into jars, forgotten in drawers, or spent without a second thought. Yet, one specific coin from the post-war era, the 1948 wheat penny with no mint mark, has proven that a single cent can hold astonishing value when the right factors come together. The year 1948 represents a turning point in American history. World War II had ended just a few years earlier, and the nation was entering a period of rebuilding, growth, and optimism. Factories were converting back to civilian production, families were expanding, and the U.S. economy was accelerating. During this time, pennies were used constantly in everyday transactions. They were not saved, protected, or admired. They were spent, dropped, and worn down through daily use, which is exactly why high-quality survivors are so rare today. A wheat penny with no mint mark indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia produced massive quantities of cents in 1948, leading many people to believe these coins are automatically common. That belief has caused countless valuable examples to be overlooked for decades. What serious collectors understand is that mintage numbers alone do not define rarity. Survival rate, preservation, and collector demand are far more important, especially for coins that were heavily circulated from the moment they were released. The Lincoln Wheat Penny design is one of the most iconic in American coinage. Abraham Lincoln's portrait symbolizes unity and leadership, while the wheat stalks on the reverse reflect growth and prosperity. By 1948, this design had already been in use for nearly 40 years and was approaching the final decade of its production. Coins from this later period are especially challenging to find in exceptional condition because they were treated as expendable currency, not collectibles. Condition is the single most important factor in determining the value of a 1948 wheat penny with no mint mark. Most examples show noticeable wear, flattened details, contact marks, or surface discoloration. Only a very small percentage avoided these issues. Coins that retain sharp detail, clean surfaces, and original color are dramatically rarer than most people realize. A penny that looks ordinary at first glance can be extraordinary to a trained collector if it has survived in top condition. Strike quality plays a major role as well. During high-volume production periods, the mint focused on speed and output. As a result, many 1948 pennies display weak details in Lincoln's hair, the lettering, or the wheat lines on the reverse. A coin with a strong, crisp strike immediately stands out. Full, detail, and clean rims are indicators that the coin was struck well and preserved carefully. surface preservation is equally critical. Original mint luster, natural red or red-brown color, and smooth fields greatly enhance desirability. Over the decades, many wheat pennies were cleaned by well-meaning owners trying to make them shine. Unfortunately, cleaning often leaves hairlines, dull surfaces, and unnatural brightness that permanently reduce value. Collectors strongly favor coins that have never been altered, even if they show gentle natural toning. Another reason the 1948 wheat penny with no mint mark is valuable is its place in the post-war era. Collectors are drawn to coins that represent important historical transitions. This penny was struck during a time of rebuilding and hope, and that emotional connection adds to its appeal. Many collectors seek coins that tell a story, and the 1948 wheat penny tells the story of a nation moving forward after global conflict. As coin collecting became more advanced, experts began closely re-examining post-war wheat pennies. What they discovered was surprising. Truly high-grade examples of the 1948 wheat penny were far scarcer than expected. Most had been worn down by years of circulation, leaving only a small number suitable for elite collections. This realization caused demand for premium examples to steadily increase. Market dynamics also play a role. As more collectors compete for the same limited supply of top-quality coins, prices rise. Each year, the finest examples are absorbed into long-term collections and removed from the open market. This shrinking supply intensifies competition whenever a standout coin becomes available. What shocks most people is how dramatic the value gap can be. 2 pennies from 1948 can look nearly identical to the average person, yet one might be worth only a modest amount while the other commands a life-changing price. That difference comes down to preservation, originality, eye appeal, and collector demand. This is what makes the 1948 wheat penny with no mint mark so fascinating. At major auctions, collectors scrutinize every detail. They understand that opportunities to acquire truly exceptional coins are rare. When a premium 1948 wheat penny appears, bidding can escalate quickly as collectors compete for a piece they may not see again for years. The clearest proof of this coin's potential comes directly from real auction history. A top-quality 1948 wheat penny with no mint mark has reached an incredible $190,000, a result that stunned many collectors and permanently changed how this year is viewed. That single sale proved that even a post-war penny, when preserved at the highest level, can achieve six-figure value. That price is not based on hype or speculation. It reflects real scarcity, real demand, and real competition among serious collectors. It shows how a simple 1-cent coin can become a major American collectible when history, condition, and desirability align. This is why wheat pennies continue to be searched through, studied, and carefully examined across the United States. The 1948 wheat penny with no mint mark is not just spare change from the past. It is a powerful reminder that extraordinary value can exist in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone who knows exactly what to look for. Coin number 4. What if the most valuable coin you could ever discover doesn't look rare, doesn't shine like gold, and doesn't immediately catch your attention, yet has already sold for more money than many homes across America? Somewhere right now, a single wheat penny is sitting quietly in a collection, a drawer, or an old jar, completely unnoticed. The 1951 wheat penny with the D mint mark is proof that extraordinary value can hide inside the most ordinary coin, waiting for someone who understands what truly makes a penny valuable. The early 1950s were a time of confidence and growth in the United States. World War II was over, the economy was expanding, and everyday Americans relied heavily on coins for daily transactions. Pennies were everywhere, constantly exchanged, dropped into registers, and passed from hand to hand. They were not viewed as collectibles or investments. They were simply money. This everyday use is exactly why finding a high-quality 1951 wheat penny today is far more difficult than most people realize. The small D mint mark on a 1951 wheat penny tells an important story. It means the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, a facility responsible for producing massive quantities of coins to keep up with national demand. Because so many coins were produced, many people assume the 1951 Wheat penny must be common. That assumption has caused countless valuable examples to be ignored, spent, or damaged over time. Collectors know that rarity is not just about production numbers, but about how many coins survived in truly exceptional condition. The Lincoln Wheat Penny design itself adds to the appeal. Abraham Lincoln's portrait has symbolized American strength and unity for generations, while the wheat stalks on the reverse represent growth, prosperity, and resilience. By 1951, this design had already been in circulation for more than 40 years and was nearing the end of its lifespan. Later-date wheat pennies like the 1951 issue are especially challenging to find in top condition because they were not saved in large numbers. Condition plays a decisive role in determining value. Most 1951 wheat pennies show visible wear from circulation. Details in Lincoln's hair are often flattened, the lettering can appear weak, and the wheat lines on the reverse are frequently worn down. Coins that avoided this kind of wear are dramatically rarer than people expect. A penny that appears ordinary to an untrained eye can be extraordinary to a collector if it retains sharp details and original surfaces. Strike quality further separates average coins from elite ones. During high-volume production years, the Denver Mint often focused on speed. As a result, many 1951 Wheat pennies exhibit weak strikes. Coins with strong, crisp details, full lettering, and well-defined wheat stalks are far more desirable. These details indicate not only a good strike, but also careful preservation over decades. Surface preservation is another critical factor. Original mint luster, natural color, and smooth fields significantly increase desirability. Over the years, many wheat pennies were cleaned by owners hoping to improve their appearance. Unfortunately, cleaning usually causes irreversible damage, leaving hairlines and unnatural surfaces that collectors immediately notice. Original, untouched coins are the ones that command serious attention and strong prices. The historical context of a 1951 wheat penny with D mint mark adds another layer of appeal. This coin represents a nation transitioning into modern America. Infrastructure projects were expanding, suburbs were growing, and confidence in the future was strong. Collectors are often drawn to coins that represent these defining moments in American history, and the early 1950s hold a powerful place in the national story. As coin collecting became more advanced, experts began carefully studying later-date wheat pennies. What they found surprised many collectors. Truly high-grade examples of a 1951 Wheat penny were extremely scarce. Most had been worn down through daily use, leaving only a very small number suitable for elite collections. This discovery significantly increased demand for top-quality specimens. Market dynamics have intensified this scarcity. As more collectors compete for the same limited number of premium coins, prices naturally rise. Each year, the finest examples are placed into long-term collections and removed from public availability. This shrinking supply makes every appearance of a top-tier 1951 Wheat penny an event. What shocks most people is the enormous value gap between average examples and elite survivors. Two pennies from 1950, one can look almost identical at first glance, yet one might be worth only a small amount while the other can command a life-changing price. That difference comes down to preservation, originality, eye appeal, and collector demand. At major auctions, collectors examine every detail with extreme care. They know opportunities to acquire truly exceptional wheat pennies are rare. When a standout 1951 wheat penny with D mint mark appears, competition can be intense, with bidders fully aware that they may not see another example of that quality for years. The strongest evidence of this coin's potential comes from real auction history. A top-quality 1951 wheat penny with the D mint mark has reached an astonishing $245,000, a result that stunned collectors and permanently changed how this coin is viewed. That single sale proved that a penny from the early 1950s can achieve six-figure value when all the right factors align. That price is not the result of speculation or hype. It reflects genuine rarity, exceptional preservation, and strong demand among serious collectors. It shows how a 1-cent coin can transform into a major American collectible when history, condition, and desirability come together. This is why wheat pennies continue to be searched through, studied, and carefully examined across the United States. The 1951 wheat penny with the D mint mark is not just leftover change from the past. It is a powerful reminder that extraordinary value can exist in the most familiar objects, waiting patiently for someone who knows exactly what to look for. Coin number 5. What if the most valuable coin you could ever touch isn't dramatic, isn't flashy, and doesn't announce its importance in any obvious way, yet has quietly sold for more money than most people will ever imagine a penny could be worth? Somewhere in the United States right now, a single wheat penny is resting in an old jar, a family collection, or a forgotten envelope completely unnoticed. The 1952 wheat penny with no mint mark proves that hidden value doesn't always look extraordinary at first glance. In 1952, America was in motion. The country had moved beyond the hardships of World War II and into a period of rapid expansion. New homes were being built, highways were stretching across the nation, and families were settling into a modern way of life. Pennies were a daily necessity. They passed through countless hands every day, used for groceries, newspapers, gas, and coffee. Nobody saved them. Nobody protected them. That everyday use is the foundation of why this coin has become so valuable today. A wheat penny without a mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia was the primary producer of U.S. cents in 1952, striking enormous numbers to keep up with demand. Because of this, many people assume the 1952 wheat penny with no mint mark must be common. That assumption has caused countless collectors to overlook what truly matters. High mintage does not mean high survival in top condition. In fact, it often means the opposite. The Lincoln Wheat Penny design itself carries immense emotional and historical weight. Abraham Lincoln's portrait represents unity, endurance, and leadership, while the wheat stalks on the reverse symbolize growth and prosperity. By 1952, this design had been in circulation for more than 4 decades and was nearing the end of its run. Later date, wheat pennies were treated as disposable currency, not collectible items, making pristine survivors incredibly difficult to find. Condition is the most important factor when evaluating a 1952 wheat penny with no mint mark. Most examples show clear evidence of circulation. Lincoln's hair details are often worn flat, the date may be weak, and the wheat stalks frequently lack sharp definition. Coins that avoided heavy wear are extremely rare. A penny that looks average to most people can be extraordinary to a collector if it retains sharp detail and original surfaces. Strike quality plays a major role as well. During high production years, the mint focused on efficiency. As a result, many 1952 wheat pennies show weak strikes, particularly in the finer details. A coin with strong lettering, full wheat lines, and crisp rims immediately separates itself from the vast majority of surviving examples. These are the coins collectors compete for. Surface preservation adds another critical layer. Original mint luster, natural red or red-brown color, and smooth fields greatly enhance desirability. Over the decades, many wheat pennies were cleaned by people who believed they were improving their appearance. In reality, cleaning permanently damages a coin's surface, leaving hairlines and unnatural brightness. Collectors strongly prefer coins that remain untouched, even if they show light natural toning from age. Another reason the 1952 wheat penny with no mint mark is so valuable is its historical placement. This coin represents a confident America stepping into the modern age. Television was entering homes, suburbs were expanding, and optimism was widespread. Coins from this era connect collectors directly to a defining moment in American life, adding emotional value beyond metal and condition. As the hobby of coin collecting became more advanced, experts began re-examining post-war wheat pennies. What they discovered surprised many seasoned collectors. Truly high-grade examples of the 1952 wheat penny were far scarcer than expected. Most had been worn down by years of circulation, leaving only a tiny percentage suitable for elite collections. Market forces magnified this rarity. As more collectors recognized how difficult it was to find a premium example, demand increased. Each year, the finest coins were placed into long-term collections and removed from the open market. This shrinking supply has quietly driven prices higher over time. What shocks most people is the extreme value gap. 2 pennies from 1952 can look almost identical to the untrained eye, yet one may be worth only a small amount while the other commands a life-changing price. That difference comes down to preservation, originality, eye appeal, and collector demand. This dramatic contrast is what makes the 1952 wheat penny with no mint mark so fascinating. At major auctions, collectors analyze these coins with intense focus. Every detail matters. The strike, the surfaces, the color, and the overall appearance are carefully evaluated. When a truly exceptional 1952 wheat penny appears, collectors know they may not see another like it for many years. Competition becomes fierce. The most powerful proof of this coin's value comes from real auction history. A top-quality 1952 wheat penny with no mint mark has reached an astonishing $185,000, a result that completely changed how collectors view this year. That single sale demonstrated that even a post-war penny, when preserved at the highest level, can achieve six-figure value. That price is not the result of hype or speculation. It reflects real scarcity, real demand, and serious collector competition. It proves that history, condition, and desirability can transform a simple 1-cent coin into a major American treasure. This is why wheat pennies continue to be searched through, studied, and carefully examined across the United States. The 1952 wheat penny with no mint mark is not just leftover change from the past. It is a reminder that extraordinary value often hides in ordinary places, waiting patiently for someone who knows exactly what to look for. So, before you spend another penny, remember this: the wheat pennies we covered today are not just old coins, they are hidden pieces of American history that collectors are paying serious money for right now. Any one of these coins could be sitting in a jar, a drawer, or even in your pocket at this very moment. That's why staying informed matters, because the people who recognize these rare details are the ones who profit. If you want to keep discovering valuable U.S. coins hiding in plain sight, watch my next video on Jefferson nickels, where I reveal which ones are quietly selling for shocking prices. And if you don't want to miss future hidden treasures, subscribe to Coins Most Valuable, like this video, share it with a fellow collector, and comment below if you've ever found an old wheat penny. You never know what you're holding until it's too late.